الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد أحييكم بتحية الإسلام تحية من أهل الجنة تحية من عند الله مباركة طيبة وهي السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. The theme of today's khutbah is جواهر يهود بين الأمس واليوم, past and present conspicuous Jewish crimes. That is the theme of the khutbah. After the preamble, Imam wrote in his khutbah that Allah mentioned in the Quran that لَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ وَلَتَسْمَعُنَّ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا أَذًى كَثِيرًا وَإِنْ تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ. That you will surely be tested in your wealth. Allah already decreed that in the Quran. Is something we call predestination. لَتُبْلَوُنَّ فِي أَمْوَالِكُمْ وَأَنفُسِكُمْ. You will be tested regarding your wealth. You will be tested in your wealth, in your property. And also in you yourself as a personal person or a personality. Allah will also test you. That is what أَنفُسِكُمْ. And he now mentioned ahead of the ayah that وَلَتَسْمَعُنَّ مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ وَمِنَ الَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا أَذًى كَثِيرًا. That you will, or you shall also hear, you shall hear from the people of the book or those who are given the scripture before you. You will hear from them something that will grieve you, something that will give you much grief. Adhan kathira, both from the people of the book before you and also the idolaters, that is those associating partner to Allah. Then ahead of the ayah, Allah also mentioned that وَإِن تَصْبِرُوا وَتَتَّقُوا, that if you are patient and you fear Allah, فَإِنَّ ذَلِكَ مِنْ عَزْمِ الْأُمُورِ, that indeed that will be a determining factor in all affairs. That is what is the most, meaning patient is the most demanding. And Allah mentioned also in the Quran, in another surah, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, that لَتَجِدَنَّ أَشَدَّ النَّاسِ عَدَاوَةً لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا الْيَهُودِ وَالَّذِينَ أَشْرَكُوا. That you will find the most intense of people in animosity, or the most strongest of people in animosity to the believers are the Jews, and they also the idolaters. وَلَتَجِدَنَّ أَقْرَبَهُمْ مَوَدَّةً. These are the most intense of the people, both the Jews and the idolaters. Meaning, there is animosity provided you are not a Jew, you are nothing to them. You are worthless. They consider you nothing. That is why in the khutbah written by the Imam, he now said that he's consoling us and as well consoling the Muslims, the believers, regarding our brothers, our sisters, the children also who were transgressed and killed them, trying to deprive them from their land, transgress them. Those people who died as a martyrs, and we ask Allah to resurrect them among the martyrs on the day of resurrection. Then he also mentioned in the Khutbah that, respected brothers and sisters in Islam, that there have been many crimes of the Jews, many crimes of the Jewish people throughout the world history. In fact, their crimes is not now it started. It has started since from the time Allah sent prophets in their midst. Yes, of course, one of their crimes is that there are the people who blaspheme Allah, they insult Allah. Allah mentioned in the Quran, and the cause of the revelation of that ayah is what happened was at the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Before Allah sent the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it has already been written in a Torah that Allah mentioned in a Torah that is going to send a prophet. It's also written in the Injil. Also in it, Allah have already wrote that. One day, Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq went to the place of their worship, that is the Jewish people. He went there. When he went there, he now visited one of their learned people, one of their learned men, whose name is Mother Fanhaus ibn Azura. When he visited the man, he now told him that he should be conscious of Allah, fear Allah, and accept Islam. Then the man now rebuked him by telling him that, what do I have to do with Allah who is poor? Can you see an insult? Then Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq was grieved by the statement he made. Yes, of course, if you are a kind of person who has Iman, you will be grieved by this kind of statement, for someone to blaspheme Allah in this aspect. Then what happened was that Sayyidina Abu Bakr was very angry. He now hit him on his face. He hit him in a way that he will feel the pain. He now went to the Prophet. Then the Jew now went to the Prophet ﷺ to go and report Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq, because he knows that the Prophet ﷺ is a just person. He's a just prophet. You never back someone because the person is his tribe or the person is his religion. That is the justice of Islam. Whoever the right belongs to, give the person the right. Then as he went to report Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq that one of your companions hit me severely, then Sayyidina Abu Bakr was trying to defend himself, that this was the scenario, this was what happened between me and the Jew. Then the Jew belied the statement of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq. Before he left that particular place, Allah revealed an ayah by confirming or affirming the statement of Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq by saying, لَقَدْ سَمِعَ اللَّهُ قَوْلَ الَّذِينَ قَالُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ فَقِيرٌ. That indeed Allah had the statement of those who say that verily Allah is poor. وَنَحْنُ أَغْنِيَاء, and we are rich. Then, ahead of it, Allah now said, Mother, سَنَكْتُبُ مَا قَالُوا. We are going to record their utterance. Or in another mother recitation, in another reading of the recitation, سَيُكْتَبُ مَا قَالُوا وَقَتْلُهُمُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ. Allah is going to command the angels to document their statements. وَقَتْلَهُمُ الْأَنْبِيَاءِ. And from their crimes is that killing executing the prophets that is sent in their midst, killing them unjustly. And also, this is the wisdom behind revealing this particular ayah. And Allah also mentioned in the Quran regarding also their insults. He now mentioned in the Quran that وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودِ يَدُ اللَّهِ مَغْلُولَةً. The Jews, or the Jewish people, the Jews mentioned that they uttered the statement that يَدُ اللَّهِ مَغْلُولَةً, that the hand of Allah is tied. If they say your hand is tied, means you are stingy, that Allah is stingy. This is also an insult, one of their insults also. Then Allah descend his curse on them, that غُلَّتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ, be their hands tight. Meaning, being their hands, being their hand tied up, meaning they are the stingy people. That is why it's a curse on them. Jewish people, they are very stingy. Allah mentioned regarding their attributes in the Quran. Mother, in one of the ayats in Surah Al-Imran, وَمِنْ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ مَنْ إِنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِقِنْطَارٍ يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ إِنْ تَأْمَنْهُ بِدِينَارٍ لَا يُؤَدِّهِ إِلَيْكَ إِلَّا مَا دُمْتَ عَلَيْهِ قَائِمًا. From among the Jews, there are those that if you entrust them with a coin, to entrust them with it, they will never return it back to you until you stand firm, demanding for that from them. They will not give you your mother their own. They can't give you something from theirs, and if you entrust them with something, they will return it back to you. Can you see? This is the highest level of stinginess. Allah that they are accusing of being stingy. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned in a hadith of Abi Hurairah that مَاذَا يَدُ اللَّهِ مَلْأَى, the hands of Allah is filled up with provision. The hands of Allah is filled up with provision. لَا تَغِيضُهَا نَفَقَةٌ. You see, the provision that Allah is giving has never diminished anything from what is in the hand of Allah. He now mentioned in the hadith that mother سَحَّاءُ اللَّيْلِ وَالنَّهَارِ, Allah is generous morning and night, meaning there is no single time. Ask Allah, Allah will give you from His bounty. And in another reading of the hadith, also the Prophet said, what is given to humanity on the face of the earth, to the provision with Allah, is just like placing a needle in an ocean. When you remove it, what dropped from the needle is what is given to everybody on the face of the earth. He mentioned that ماذا أرأيتم ما أنفق منذ خلق السماء والأرض. Can't you see what Allah has been giving, the provision that Allah has given since from the creation of the heavens and the earth? This is a question, it's an intelligible question by the Prophet ﷺ. He now mentioned in that ayah of وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ يَدُ اللَّهِ مَغْلُولَةً غُلَّتْ أَيْدِيهِمْ مَا قَالُوا بَلْ يَدَاهُ مَبْسُوطَتَانِ. The hand of Allah is outstretched. The hand of Allah is open. Anytime you ask, Allah is ready to give you. يُنْفِقُ كَيْفَ يَشَاءُ. He gives provision however He wants. This is one of the insults of the Jewish people. And from also, one of their crimes also is that al-kadhibu ala Allah, belying Allah, or fabricating Allah, or fabricating a lie against Allah. Allah mentioned in the Quran from their fabrication. Allah mentioned in the Quran that I don't have a son, but they belie the Quran and attribute a son to Allah. وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ عُزَيْرٌ ابْنُ اللَّهِ. The Jewish people say that Mother Uzair is the son of Allah. This is one of their lie. Belying Allah, they belie the Quran and the message that Allah sent the Prophet ﷺ with and all the prophets with, and attribute something that Allah did not attribute to Himself without having any knowledge or without having access to the preserved tablet or preserved slate, which is the Lawh al-Mahfuz. And also from their words of belying Allah in that manner, they will say, لَيْسَ عَلَيْنَا فِي الْأُمِّيِّينَ سَبِيلٌ. There is no blame upon us regarding unlearned people. A Yahud, a Jew, or a Jewish people, they never consider cheating you as something. It is normal, it is insignificant, they consider it insignificant. If they devour your wealth or deceive you, provided you are not a Jew, or I will call it as a Gentile, non-Jewish person. If you are a Gentile, they consider devouring your wealth, maltreating you, transgressing you, oppressing you as nothing, as normal. That Allah will not hold them responsible for that because you deserve that. That is one of their lying which they fabricate to Allah. Because Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He prohibited oppression upon Himself. إِنِّي حَرَّمْتُ الظُّلْمَ عَلَى نَفْسِي وَجَعَلْتُهُ بَيْنَكُمْ مُحَرَّمًا. That's I prohibited transgression upon myself. Allah legislated justice upon Himself, and as well also I prohibited that injustice upon you, the oppression upon you. This Allah said that He prohibited injustice upon us, while then they say that there is no blame upon them in oppressing you. They've belied the Quran, they've fabricated a lie against Allah, saying, وَيَقُولُ عَلَى اللَّهِ الْكَذِبَ وَهُمْ يَعْلَمُونَ. And what they are fabricating, they know that it is a fabrication. That is why when they attribute Uzair being the son of Allah, ahead of the ayah, Allah knows قَاتَلَهُمُ اللَّهِ. The curse of Allah should descend upon them. Allah have already cursed them. That is why they are misbehaving on the face of the earth. Also from belying Allah is that matter that is mentioned. لَن تَمَسَّنَا النَّارُ. That fire, hellfire, even if we are going to be put or being admitted, captured in the hellfire, the fire will just touch us for some numbered days. For just days that are numbered. 40 days, we come out of it, we will not be in hellfire forever. Because they consider it as نَحْنُ أَبْنَاءُ اللَّهِ وَأَحِبَّاؤُهُ. We are children of Allah. Can you say another one? Attributing themselves being children of Allah. Allah says He doesn't have a son, but they still attribute themselves being the children of Allah and the most beloved people. أَطَّلَعَ الْغَيْبِ أَمِ اتَّخَذَ عِنْدَ الرَّحْمَنِ عَهْدًا. Do they have access to the preserved tablet, or do they have any agreement between them and Allah regarding to this? They are belying Allah, they are belying the message of Allah. If Allah says this, they will go contrary to the statements. And with that, they say they are children of Allah, or most beloved to Allah. Ta'ala Allahu an dhalik. And also, belying one of mother, accusing people of what is not, what human being does not deserve to be accused, accusing the prophets and others. They accuse Nabi Isa as an illegitimate child, meaning insulting him as a bastard, not as a prophet of Allah or prophet of God. They accuse him of that, and we, the believers, who believe that Nabi Isa, Jesus, the son of Mary, is the prophet of Allah, is an apostle of Allah. We believe in that. In fact, blaspheming him, the penalty of it is killing, but by the authority. And also, accusing the Prophet ﷺ being a sorcerer, accusing him also being a poet. It's also an accusation of theirs, and so many crimes. And from one of their crimes is And also from their crimes is mother Qatlul Anbiya, killing prophets unjustly. They killed Prophet Mother, Prophet Zakaria, and his son, and Nabi Mother, and Nabi Yahya, and also attempts twice in killing Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even though Allah saved him from their plots or from their atrocities. But that we ask Allah to grant us peace and safety, or to grant us safety and peace from their evil. Also, one of the most conspicuous crimes of the Jew today is the occupation of Palestine, trying to occupy the land. Do you know that the Jewish people, Allah have already deprived them from land. They don't have any land on the face of the earth. By the text of the Quran, in Surah Al-Ma'idah, when Allah assigned the city of Palestine to them, what happened? They refused to enter. And Nabi Musa told them that, ماذا يا قومي ادخلوا الأرض المقدسة التي كتب الله لكم ولا ترتدوا على أدباركم فتنقلبوا خاسرين. O my people, enter this blessed city, that is Palestine. ولا ترتدوا على أدباركم, and do not turn back from fighting in the cause of Allah. فَتَنْقَلِبُوا خَاسِرِينَ, because if you turn back, you will be among the losers. قال ماذا؟ إِنَّ فِيهَا قَوْمًا جَبَّارِينَ, that kind. In this city, there are tyrannical people. قَوْمًا جَبَّارِينَ وَإِنَّا لَن نَدْخُلَهَا, we can never enter the city. حَتَّى يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا, until the tyrannical people go out of the town. فَإِنْ يَخْرُجُوا مِنْهَا, if they go out of the town, فَإِنَّا دَاخِلُونَ, we will enter it. Then Allah now deprived them for about 40 years, wandering on the face of the earth. وَقَطَّعْنَاهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ أُمَمًا, Allah now separate them, split them into different lands. From their atrocity in that matter, to the extent 2 of the people of Nabi Musa told them that matter, رَجُلَانِ مِنَ الَّذِينَ يَخَافُونَ أَنْعَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِمْ فَادْخُلُوا عَلَيْهِمُ الْبَابَ, that advised them to enter the city. ادخلوا عليهم الباب فإذا دخلتموه, if you to enter, we enter together. فإنا غالبون, we will have victory. But what happened? At the end of the result, فإنا غالبون وعلى الله إن كنتم مؤمنين. قال فإن ماذا؟ They refused to enter that city, and say that because of their cowardness, they now told Nabi Musa that mother, اذهب أنت وربك فقاتلا إنا هاهنا قاعدون. You and your Lord should go and fight them. We remain here. We cannot go. We cannot enter that city. That is the cowardness. That was why Allah deprived them from that city. And now today they are fighting to occupy the city. Can you see? This is the injustice of the Jewish people. And I ask Allah to grant us understanding. If you talk about history, come to the Quran, not the one that said that the post on newspaper and other things. Those one is just a fabrication. Their history, Allah have already written in the book, in the Quran, and Allah have already promised that He's going to grant victory to the believers. He's going to grant them victory. Allah mentioned that in the Quran. For that, there is nothing we need to worry about. وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah already promised that He's going to give the Muslims, He's going to grant them victory. He's going to grant them victory of succeeding the authority of the land. كما استخلف الذين من قبل وَلَيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينَهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَىٰ لَهُمْ. Also, it's part of the promise of Allah is going to make Islam to be very strong. وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. And Allah will replace their fear with mother, peace and safety. And we ask Allah to also grant them and to replace the kind of situation which they are with peace and safety. Inshallah. Stop here. Assalamu alaikum.